Welcome to RPG, where we cover everything gaming related. So we literally just got back home from our first ever regional event, and you placed in the top 10? Ninth.
Place 9, yeah.
And this is your first regional. You've been playing for what, maybe about 7 months or so?
Yeah, I think this is technically my first truly competitive environment.
Perfect. So what deck did you run?
So I ran Gamma.
Gamma? Alright. You want to talk about the deck for a bit, and let's get into the breakdown of what you actually put in that thing?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, perfect.
So I think everybody kind of knows what Gamma does by now. On the front, when I swing, I get to draw. When I have a 2-cost unison in play, or if I get to 4 life or less, I'm going to awaken. I'm always banking on that 2-cost unison. I try to swing and then, of course, awaken on turn 2, but I like to get that extra swing in. Sometimes if I'm feeling real spicy, I'll wait till turn 3, but it's not an aggro deck. And then on the back, when I play something out from energy, it lets me replace it. Yeah, I think everybody knows what Gamma does at this point. So, getting into the meat of the deck, main engine pieces, we have 17 and 18. So 17 has barrier, 18 is crit. They both essentially do the same thing. They're a tap 1 to play from energy. They do say you may play, so if I tap it and then my opponent declares that they're going to counter it, I can choose not to play it, which is super nice. If I do play it out, they both let me search the top 5 of my deck, pull an android, put an android in my energy, and pick any card back up. So, if I do any kind of replace before that, and the energy that replaces, or when I play them out, if the energy that replaces is a non-android, then of course I can use them to cycle that out, put an android back in, so that I can do the pickup and the put down that Gamma allows me to do on the back.
So now you ran a 3-3 split. Is that optimal? Because I see a lot of people running like a 4-2 split.
A lot of people run 4-2. I think it's kind of preference. I like having the barrier, depending on who I'm playing. If they have barrier removal or not, it can be nice. I like having the crit because it's of course great, especially in late game when the hand sizes start getting a little smaller. Kind of, he just controls what they're able to pick up. At the end of the day, when you swing, I'm gonna swing with these almost every time, and if I swing with them, they can both be attacked. So they don't always stay on the board super long, but they're really, really nice functional cards. Another super functional card is Limitless Energy. So 20k, it's a dual attack. It does not ignore barrier, but when I play it, I can bounce something to the bottom of the deck that is greater than or equal to opponent's energy. So that's super nice if they have a big boy on board that doesn't have barrier. I can bottom deck it. It has deflect, so it plays from energy or from hand, which is nice if I have one in energy, but I don't want to risk having to replace and it not be what I need it to be. And of course you need the green for sell, so super versatile, really nice card. And in the kind of main part of the deck, defense sector, I like to run, I run a 4 of the 14s. I know some people run 3. I find that these get counterplayed some, so I like to have the 4 on hand.
It seems like it's a big aggro matchup now, so it seems like that probably helped you out a little more, didn't it?
It is, and they're, for anybody that doesn't know what 14 does, it's essentially a topo, so you bottom deck 2 cards to be able to swing. It's nice that in that it doesn't specify battle cards or unison or anything like that, so it's any swing. It's a hey, stop swinging in my face. So, and I also run 2 of Chilled's Army, and these are kind of number 1, my backup for if 14 gets counterplayed and I don't have something in hand to keep that from happening. Then I, always have the option if my energy is spent to still rip a life and play if I'm at 5 or less. And it's also really good. One of my matchups in the tournament, I was it was a late awaken. They weren't doing a whole lot of aggro. So I used it to take that 5th life so that I could awaken, because they did take my unison off board. So it can be, nice in that regard as well. Big meat of the board, we have Cell. Everybody loves Cell.
The big boss monster of
everybody that plays blue.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Cell, he's super nice. He doesn't ignore barrier, but for everything else he does, he really doesn't need to. I mean, he controls the board. He bottom decks everything on board that's not barrier or, like indestructible, of course. He's a pay 1 green, 1 blue, and then two of whatever. So I really just need one of the limitless and the energy to be able to play him. 30k double strike, dual attack. He's only double strike the first turn, but people usually take him out pretty quickly. So, he may not make it to the second turn. His big function is really just to clear the board, and he's also really nice to swing at unisons if you're trying to, really tap down someone's unison. And then the other thing too, if I know someone probably has negates, I'm going to swing him either first at them or first at the unison and kind of draw those negates out before I start kind of going for face with my other swings.
So in this regional event, how did you, you pretty much just picked out how important the unison was to the deck to actually start swinging into it instead of swinging to life?
Yeah, exactly. So Gogeta and Sin, I don't know card names of the names I don't play. I'm going to be totally honest there. I don't have great memory. But yeah, I know its neg4 is nasty. So yeah, I'm trying to keep that below 4. I did have a matchup with a red-blue Sin deck that was really nicely built. But, I went to take it to 3 on the unison just in case he had that, other one in hand to slide under there, and he ended up having it. So it was super nice to kind of knock that unison off.
That probably saved you the game at the end, didn't it?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it was one less thing coming at my face.
30k double strike coming at your face.
Yeah. All right. And I play 4 of these blockers. So 18 says if it's my opponent's turn and I have a unison on board, I can pay 1, counterplay if it's 4 or less, and then it becomes a blocker. This card is really nice in certain matchups and really dead in others. If I have an opponent that is coming at my unison, killing my unison off, this card's dead. It's a combo. But what I really, really like for this card is to have a unison on board. And then if I'm trying to play out a 14, I really like to have one of these in hand so that if somebody does a counter, that I can kind of bounce their card and keep 14 on the field. It doesn't always work because a lot of the counters have effects before the play. But if it's a play and then this kind of is a good in hand to take care of it. And I'm gonna be super honest. Essentially, the way that I use these is when my opponent throws out a card, I say, "What's it do?" And if they say something that makes it sound like it's important to their deck, nope, bottom deck it.
Yeah, you literally shut down my Trunks Cheetah deck because you stopped my draw engines, and you started doing it with my Gogeta deck too. So yeah, I don't like playing you, and I don't like that card.
This card was fantastic against the Broly.
Crown of Retribution.
The Crown of Retribution. Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you can stop that card, yeah, that's.
I got to stop it in several different matches with this, and it was.
Yeah, that's a game changer.
Because they're like, let me see your hand. You can see this card, and that's it. So super satisfying. Doesn't always work though. And of course, absolutely super common Senzu Bean.
I mean, running blue.
You're running. I'm running blue. Senzu Bean's great. It's versatile. I can use it defensively. I can use it offensively. I mean, great all around card. Everybody kind of expects Bean in blue.
Don't even need to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess where Gamma builds really start to differ is the Unison package and the Super Combo package, because every other Gamma player I have played against, I think almost everybody uses a different Super Combo and Unison package. So I focus my deck mainly on that draw power. I like to have the draw power. So I am running the Android 8 super combos. And, you know, I can throw him out before 4 life. Optimally, I'm not doing that before 4 life because he does get the draw. But, I mean, there's not a lot to say about him. I mean, he lets me draw. He lets me super combo. He serves his purpose.
So what made you run that is just the draw power instead of Bionic Blitz. Bionic Blitz lets you bounce a card, which I see a lot of people running.
Yeah, when I first built, I built a rival center deck, and I just found it didn't get off the ground quick enough for me. The arrival, I just didn't have the quick, like the livability that I wanted. I didn't have the defense that I wanted. If I wasn't out aggroing in the first 2, you know, maybe 3 turns, I just couldn't survive past that because my hand size, I mean, you play so much out with Gamma that your hand size can tick down really quickly, especially with Zenkai. You know, now you're trying to combo cards and to be able to charge those in your Z energy, so you're pitching even more from hand to be able to combo. So, which is why Zenkai is exactly why I went back to the teaming up unison. Because I mean, it pulls a free 5k mono blue combo from your drop. So Gamma doesn't play out of the drop. It's dead if it's in the drop. This is a way to make it, you know, make those cards come back to life, and you don't have to waste an extra card from hand. And of course, if you don't come at it, it's an every other turn dual attack 25k. And most people are coming at it. Most people knock this off the board pretty quickly.
So one thing we did learn about it though, so you can still charge the combo even though if you get negated because of this auto. Is that right?
You can, yeah. The auto pulls the combo on board whether the swing gets negated or not.
So you still get to charge that to Z.
Yeah, I still can charge it to Z. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was a good bit of information that probably helps you out later games too.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely did. The big thing is just remembering on that first swing every turn to make that roll up happen. It's super nice too because if somebody's, you know, if this is sitting at 4, people really try to keep it at 4 or below. So if it's sitting at 4, somebody swings at me, it rolls up to 5 on that first swing. So really, it stays where it's at. So it's kind of nice about that one. And I'm running 2/2 on the art because I only have 3 of the 1 art. I didn't want to run 3 too. So I used to run the 1-drop 13s that served for General 2, but when I went back to the teaming up, I found this card to be a lot more useful. So this is the 14 and 15. It lets me look at the top 5. I can pull back the teaming up unison, or I can pull back any red ribbon army cost of 5 or less, which lets me pull back super combos and it lets me pull back Limitless. So Limitless is the big one for me because I need it not only to be able to play it, but I need it to be able to play Cell. So those are the things. Optimally, I open with one of these. Turn 1, I'm activating main, dumping it from hand. I'm pulling back either a unison. If I have a unison in my opening hand, I'm pulling back, you know, a Limitless to charge or whatever. And then turn 2, when I'm able to throw out my unison, I already have this in my drop to pull the combo with without having to waste an extra card. And if I have a unison on board, it's also really nice. Just combo fodder too. I run a 2 of on the blue unison.
Another blue staple.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Super nice. I think everybody knows what it does. You know, it's a free draw. You get to unstand an energy, mono blue energy, unstand. I meant untap. You get a restand. You know, if you're swinging at me with a valid card, I can neg 1 to either take that card, or if you swing at me with a 15k and you've got something bigger and nastier on the board that doesn't have barrier, I can, okay, I'll take your 15k, but I'm gonna knock this off the board so you can't swing at me with it. He's really nice defense. Turns 4 and 5, I'm pretty much always looking to play Cell and Boo, you know, one or the other, depending on the matchup. I actually didn't get to play Boo very much for the regionals. I think I only got him on board in like one game.
Well, I mean, 90% of the decks there were red sins, so
Yeah.
we barely made it to turn 3 and 4.
Yeah. Those games definitely ended quicker than I'm used to. So this is another one with Red Sin and Gogeta coming out that I threw in mainly because of the Zenkai release and the cards that are in it. Dirty Burst, super functional card. You know, it doesn't counter the play, it still hits the board, but it says you can't swing at me with it. So I really like to have it in hand on turn, especially with like Gogeta, you know, turn 4 or 5. I know you're looking to put out your big beast boy. So if it's not the first thing you play, and you swing at me with something else, I'm looking to maybe hatch. If it is the first thing you play, I'm looking to immediately Dirty Burst so that you at least can't swing with it. And then, you know, I tested it a lot. I put the 3 in because we tested with Gogeta a lot. But when it was definitely when I got to regionals and it was all Red Sin, I was definitely happy to have it on board. I did run into something though in one of my matches. I didn't realize you have to tap 2. So that kind of hurt me on that one round, but after that I was able to plan for it. So you do have to tap 1 to play, to do the counter play, and then another one to be able to do the draw and keep them from swinging. So, but at the very least, if I'm playing a deck that doesn't have big beast monsters, it's a 1-drop negate, super functional. These two are from the new set. Their functionality is, I haven't decided if I like them or not. If I'm looking to side, I'm almost always pulling these out. They ignore energy exhaust, so they're fantastic, you know, dual colors to be able to charge for that green energy that I need. They do have some really cool effects. She, 18 is she. It's an arrival card, so what I find difficult, like if I'm looking to play this, I want to have a bean in hand so that I can pay 1. You know, I enter every defensive phase with my opponent's turn with 3 until I get Boo on board. I have 3 untapped, so I can pay 1 to combo with either another copy of this or a Limitless, and then bean to untap and do the other 3. It's a nice card. I just don't find that I use it for very much other than energy. So these are the ones that I think kind of threw people off maybe the most. I mainboard 2 of the Mass Saiyan. I put them in initially as a side to kind of, you know, mess with yellow to keep that Trunks Vegeta stuff from hitting the board, or at least, you know, punish you for playing it out. I have found it to be super useful though with a lot of red decks, and especially yellow too. Super functional. You know, it says if you want to play something 15 or less, using a non-keyword skill. The worst part about this card is I had to really learn what a non-keyword and keyword skills were.
It's great for the mirror match too if you ever had one.
Yeah, it would be. I didn't have one, but absolutely. I mean, I had a plan for that as well, and these were part of it. So it's very rare that I'm going to side these out. So yeah, I just said, why not mainboard it? So getting into the one-ofs, of course, Baby Hatch. I mean, what else are you going to play? Super functional, great. The biggest issue I have with Baby Hatch, and it got me in the trunk, and I played the Trunks Vegeta in that final round, and that's what, you know, kind of knocked me down a little. But yeah, if you're against yellow, and I know other colors have counters as well, but mainly the yellow is the one that I'm really that Swift Retaliation cooler. I couldn't throw at him out because I was worried, you know, if they had the Retaliation cooler in hand. He had 4 energy, and he did. So after the game, he won, and he asked, you know, why didn't you hatch? And I'm like, I'm afraid you would have played it. He said I would have. So yeah, but Baby Hatch, not a whole lot to say. I do run 2 Overwhelm, so Man on a Mission, super useful. Double K crit, double strike crit, 20k. Not a whole lot to say. Foo's really nice. It's a pay 1, draw 2, so I'm not always looking to throw it out. If I get like, violent raised or something where I'm not going to be able to swing with it, it's not optimal to play it. But when we get towards the end of the game where that hand size is really starting to diminish, this draw 2 is great. Yeah, solid card. I do play one of Champa, so I generally try to do something earlier on to really, take down. Sometimes I'll use it as a unison if I only have one swing, but I really need to knock it down. Solid card. And then I run one of Bad Omen. So when she plays, she's going to rip a life, and she's going to rip a battle card. It's a really nice finisher. I mean, there's not much else to say. It's a nice finisher.
It's your SSV Vegeta. It's like, oh, you got 1 life left. When it paid for, rip it. I'm not even going to worry about the turn.
Yeah.
Is what you keep doing to me.
Yeah. And she can be countered. She doesn't have deflect, but I don't think I've actually run into anyone countering her. So it's kind of on that last turn, if they have 1 energy and they pass and I've got this in hand, I'm going to charge it. I'm going to charge it, play it, and it's pretty much game over. I don't always get to use her, but at the very least, she's also a pay 1 10K. So getting into the Z deck, I ran 4 of on the Goku. I didn't use it. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, it's a pay 3 for the Z energy, and then you also have to rip a 4th Z energy to be able to get its effect and bounce a card at the end of the turn. I didn't use it a single time. I just don't find it as functional. What I do find functional though is the 3-drop cells. Super valuable card. At the very least, it sucks up your cards. If it's 5K, if it's, I'm sorry, not 5K, 5 drop or less, and it doesn't have barrier, it's mine. And that includes Z cards, which is super nice for that 2-drop Vegeta that is a thorn in my side. So yeah, I played this one a lot. It's an optimal turn 3. It only costs 2 Z energy, so turn 3 presumably I've already been able to pull with my unison, and it's really nice. It's also crit, and if I happen to pull 5 cards under, which I have not actually gotten to do, I didn't get to do it at all yesterday, it becomes triple strike, which is nasty. And then in my side deck is mostly black, I'm not gonna lie. Protector of the People. Super critical. I subbed this in almost every game yesterday. It's great on red, that has a lot of 20k and above, that plays out a ton of cards. Yeah, it's great against that Sin, it's great against Gogeta. It'd probably be good in a mirror match as well, but I didn't really plan to put it in with a mirror match. The one bad thing is you have to drop a card from hand, but I'd rather lose a card from hand than live. Dabura, of course, solid against green, hand control. You make me pitch, okay, I'm gonna pay 1 and draw 2. I didn't get to play any green. For my blue and my mirror matches, I have kind of a combo. I have the D Magic, and I like to sub those in lockstep with Ghost Warriors. So essentially, I say, oh, you can't manipulate energy offensively. It does kind of, screw me too. So I take out 2 beans, I throw in 2 D Magic, and yeah, I mean, I can negate, I can understand, but I don't get penalized for it. And yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to say about it. I run Kale. I did have Kale mainboarded. Super nice card. Don't play it until you get 7 energy for its maximum effects. You can play it at 5, but its big effects come at 7. When you play it, if you've got 7, it's going to ignore barrier, it's going to board life, it gets barrier, it gets dual attack, it's naturally double strike and deflect. But I just don't find that I get to play it. I don't find that we hardly ever get to 7 energy. And then just a couple smaller cards. God Sealing, solid card, bounce back to hand. Nice against yellow, stuff that has barrier, if I don't have a lot of barrier removal. Koitsukai, again, decks that play a lot, especially like Sin. I didn't sub it in very much. I probably should have. I may use this more to keep some of those seemingly endless 20Ks. I do have Unexpected Turn. It's a good balance play for decks that play a lot. I don't really sub it in. I haven't really used it very much. And then I have Realm of the Gods, and then a Dragon Slaying Bullet. Again, I don't use it a lot. I might need to start playing this more with the way that Sin and Gogeta both play that kind of Beast Unison. It might be a card I play more with later. And Beerus as well. He has nice effects, whether it's your turn or theirs. It's an activate battle. Just kind of a nice all-around card.
All right. That seems like it's it. Did you want to say anything about your matchups and kind of give what your breakdown of your matchups were?
Yeah, red. There was some red, and there were a couple more red decks. It was red Sin everywhere. I mean, the top 16 is just cluttered with red Sin, especially the top 8. Both super formidable decks. I thought it was really interesting seeing the Mecha Frieza Energy Blight with the one player that was playing the red blue Sin. That was really cool. Eddie with the Trunks Vegeta, I was not expecting it to come at my face so hard. He really just, out aggroed me, outpaced me. That was pretty cool. And just getting to play with people that are seasoned and that have been playing a lot, and for me being new coming in, it was really fun. It was really nice. I learned a lot. And my first, I guess, go at the competitive scene. So, and of course, you and all of the people we play with at locals have done so much work with practicing and helping me learn all the rules and all of that over the last year. So, yeah, I guess thanks to everybody that's practiced with me.
All right, guys. Well, Gamma's still a formidable deck. It's going to nationals, so we'll see y'all there. Don't forget, hit that like and subscribe. Anything helps. This is going to be our new channel, so keep in touch. Thank you.